All right, good morning. It is Friday, January 3rd. NQ coming into 21,300. It's our main level of interest this morning. We want to see if sellers are going to be defending this level. The theme so far, the past week now, has been a series of lower highs on our higher time frame chart. So we want to see if sellers are going to start to show up again, and if they do, where that might be. 21,300, definitely a potential area where you may start to see some selling activity. So I'll be paying close attention off the open to see this reaction here. Price is making fresh highs in the overnight session. We do have a slight gap higher. If buyers actually show acceptance above this 21,300, we may be looking at a retest into that weekly volume point of control, which is right up here, 383, and potentially up into 430. As of right now, price is just pretty much into that prior day volume point of control and that 21,300 level of interest. So about 30 seconds till the open. 21,300 main watch here off the open. Let's see if sellers show up again or not. All right, there's your open. Slight gap higher, still within the prior day's range. So there's a little blip up through that overnight high. A little bit of a blip. If you take a look at that prior day structure, you'll see a little resistance here in that 350 area. Benny says right now is the 50% retracement from yesterday's sell. Looking like the 78%, getting into that 78%. Looking at that RTH chart. Nice push off the open. So now buyers, they want to see some acceptance above 21,300. There's NQ into that weekly volume point of control area, 320-ish. Saying no real change of character until 475 here on the 30-minute chart. So we could take note of this kind of more minor lower high here from yesterday's action around noon, but I'm more focused on this right here from a structural perspective. Pretty nice open. Pretty strong open. There's that prior day resistance point. Again, just looking at the regular trading hours chart, 5-minute prior day structure. Yeah, nice push from that 300. I was a little too slow to get in the opening drive play, but a decent morning for it. Love an open right at a level of interest. So sellers stepping in now versus that prior day kind of intraday resistance point we mentioned there. Now it'll be interesting to see if buyers can actually defend 300 or not. There's your first 5-minute bar closed. It is bullish. NQ getting into that 50% intraday fib. Has a reference point. Buyers will be looking for a session high here. Some more sellers found in that 350, 355 area. If buyers can break this session high, we'll be looking at the 430. 430 is your next target. 430 prior day high zone. Next target there. NQ, there's your new high of day. Nice little pullback into that fib buy zone. We'll get the continuation. See if that 430 is going to trade or not. The old 430 level of interest. Yeah, we're into 400. And 430 trade. Here comes 430. I'll let them have the rest right at 430. Can 430 trade? A couple points shy there. Give me a little micro high or low here to raise that trail. There we go. I'll go ahead and raise the trail right below 395 here. Once you get that close to your target, it doesn't make sense to really have a much wider trail. Going to give back 30 or 50 points for an extra 5 points of upside. Makes no sense at all. So if 395 trades, I'll be out. There we go. There's the trail. Not bad. Not bad. Probably should have brought that target in just a bit. Still gave back about 25 points there. Now the question is, how does price respond to 21,430? $21,430 on NQ. So the idea on that last trade was just a directional move off the open. You get a pull back into the fib buy zone. Strong directional move off the open, fib buy zone retest. Last one out at 405. Nice work. Nice trade. Dang, to the tick on that trail. Look at this. Look at that. To the tick. Real life trading for you. There's your new high of day in NQ. There's 430. There is 430. Trailed to the tick. It's always a tricky situation. How much more risk? How much of your open profits do you want to give back for an additional 5-10 points of upside? So NQ coming into the prior day high here. Very strong opening 15 minutes. I'll be looking at this 430 prior day high area again. We're just looking to assess if sellers are going to be stepping in. It has been a strong open, but we don't want to lose sight of that current backdrop, that current structure. There's some sellers at 430. Got a high volume node building up here. More sellers stepping in. Gotta love a level to level move. Got about 12 minutes till 10 a.m. Let's see if buyers want to defend this thing or not. Something for everyone, yes, sir. We'll take this all day. Take this all day. Much better than that choppy action. Tell you that. Had the wrong size. How'd that happen? Oversized or under? Over or under, Dom? No such thing as over on Full Port Friday. Oh man, that's funny. All right, I gave it another sample. I already trailed out though. That was not a trade. I'm gonna let breathe. So we added 10 points. Take the trail. Look at that. Look at that sell. Right back into 300. Right back into 300. So we'll see the reaction here. Remember, there's still a seller's tape until we start to see that that change of character. On the near term, has not happened yet. Keep an eye on your 15 and 30-minute charts. As of right now, today's high could just be the next lower high within this series, right? No crystal ball or anything, but we got to respect the structure. So there's 300. Some buyers stepping in versus 300. At this point, most likely I'll wait till just 10 a.m. We do have a 10 a.m. data print. So far, 2 for 2 on the morning. Both trades were pulled back to the fib buy zone. Fib buy zone. Yeah, that 300 area is it's a solid spot. Let's see if we get a real test or not. So far, some pretty good action this morning. Some good two-way trading. How we doing? How we doing? 25 minutes into the day. How are we doing? Bankroll Friday, said Mr. Benny. Like I said, what I'm going to be looking at now is that reaction into 300 and ideally 10 a.m. NQ failed at 4:30. So we got the initial push up through the overnight high. I just want to see how this structure builds out. 2 for 2, all cash, plus 25. Rich, nice. Benny, one break even, one win. Solid. Solid, solid. 4 minutes till data. Volume tapering down a bit. Here's kind of the concern still on this 15-minute. If this is just going to be another lower high, how aggressive do you want to be at 300? You know, that's kind of my thought process right now. Buyer's definitely stepping in though. So we'll see how the structure builds out. All right, data in 2 minutes. It's not the big MCS, but it is a data print nonetheless. Don't forget, if you're up early in the session, consider taking an early day. Main goal should be to not give those early gains back. Do not want to give those gains back if you're up early in the sesh. All right, 1 minute till 10 a.m. Buyers trying to hold on here. Volume is really tapered down. Let's see if that data print brings in some volume, some more audience. Price currently just in the middle of this intraday structure between 430 and 300. The tape is really accelerating here. Tape is dancing. Tape dancing. Look at that spread open up. Oh boy. That's like a 5 to 10 point spread on NQ right now. Nice push. Everything froze on my end. And we're back. There we go. Tape is still wild. Spread is insane. So pretty much still here. Got a nice uptick in volume, but no update to the structure. NQ spread is usually just one tick. So anything more than one tick is going to be a wide spread for the index. So no update to the mentioned plan. I'm looking at either 300, want to see the reaction down there, or some action up and through 430. So far, it's just been 2 trades on the sesh on my end. Here they are. Let's take a look at the current profile. So yeah, it's going to be a while before this volume point of control shifts from down here. Just look at this high volume node. It's not even half the size of this main one down here. So patience. Patience is key right now. Looking at that near term 5 minute, you can see the importance of, I mean, this entire zone through here, 500 and 430, right? How price has responded. So no rush. No rush. Let's take a look at our other indices. Let's see here. So you got ES sitting on VWAP already bouncing versus that VWAP overnight high area. Pretty nice setup right through there. Some weakness in Russell and YM. So NQ kind of on its own this morning, up near session highs again. There we go. That's a better look. Let's see how this 430 is going to be treated. NQ into the highs, into that 430 level of interest. Can we make a new high of day? Can we break the prior day high? There we go. New high of day. Here comes prior day high for NASDAQ. Question now is, can buyers show acceptance up above that 430, or is this just going to be like a kind of blip higher, blip above that prior day high? So look at that 3 to 4 day regular trading hour structure. Sellers stepping in there again at 430. And they're loving that spot for the old short reload. We've not seen, doesn't look like we've seen prior day high broken all week. There's Friday. There is Thursday, December 26th. Yeah, we've not seen the prior day high break all week. Just as an observation. So still just staying patient. NQ just kind of churning here below 430. For me, there's a waiting game now. Waiting for better trade location, that is. Yeah, fight for price. Although volume is really tapering down, so it's a bit of chop now. Chop, 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 chop. Choppity chop. More sellers stepping in now. So again, we want to see that 300 area, how that's going to be treated. Yeah, definitely a nice up thrust there at 430. Aligns with the current backdrop as well. Yes, sir. Volume becoming a bit of a concern here. 3 for 3. Nicely done, Dom. It's a good Friday right there. Solid work. Now do the points and mileage. Oh, man. Got a few prints near that minimum volume threshold. And Q about 30 points off of that 300. See if 300 trades. 300. Now, just kind of looking ahead, if that session low fails, if 300 fails and we see a new low of day, sellers are going to be targeting the gap fill down into 200. And then we have more confirmation that today's high is just another lower high within this kind of bearish sequence. So as price gets into 300 here, personally, I'm not looking to be the first one in there. So let's see this reaction. Let's take a look at the other indices just for reference as well. Yeah, you got ES back into the lows, YM into the lows. Russell looks like it may be coming for the lows as well. So NQ sitting on 300. You have VWAP here, overnight high, prior day volume point of control. Buyers want it. It is definitely a good spot. Yeah, case in point about the backdrop here with the reaction at 300. Very limited buying interest so far. Let's see how this structure near 300 continues to build out. NQ, here comes the low. Almost into the low of day. It looks like 21,277. And then remember below there, next real level is down into 200. You do have that session volume point of control here at 234. Personally, would not be setting risk against that given the current backdrop. So at this point, I'll either need to see 300 reclaimed with some market structure or a strong reaction into 21,200 would be my preference. Buyers trying to set up a little spring here. Personally, we talked about this in the TMG yesterday, but don't love that setup just because 300 is directly above. So again, I would need to see that 300 reclaimed. Decent morning though, so all good. Here is another look at the morning there. 2 trades. I'm probably going to call it here. About 1 hour into the sesh. We'll keep it going in the think tank. Nice start to the year. Real action starts next week. Our first full week of... Oh, actually, that's not even true. I think the market is closed next Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? The 9th? I think we're closed the 9th. Oh, we don't even have a full week next week. Market's closed on the 9th. FYI. And then closed again on the 20th. NQ back into 300. Let's just see the reaction here. Give it a few more minutes. A few more mins. Back into the underside of VWAP now. So kind of a loose visual of what I would want to see right here. It's like this. Some sort of higher low. Backdrop says don't be too aggressive in those longs, because remember, like I mentioned probably half an hour ago, how aggressive do you want to be at 300 if this is going to be another lower high here? Now, no crystal ball as always, but got to work with the structure that's in front of you. A 5-minute hammer here would definitely be significant. Let's see how this candle closes. 15 seconds. Nice little push. That's a good sign from buyers there. Spring setup works. A little too much risk for me on that one, so pass on it. But it's good to see some of these setups working in a tape that has been more bearish. Now, can it show follow through is the question. Up above that prior 5-minute bar high. Then you've got this next 15-minute bar closing up here in 4 minutes as well. So there's a little push. Volume definitely improved. Let's take a look at our intraday fib. There it is. So there's your 38% fib being tested. Do we see 300 be retested or not? Is this thing just going to push? It's kind of a visual of that spring. Undercut of the low. Quick reclaim. Little too aggressive for me. But panned out nonetheless. Break that session low right through here. Get that with a 30-second hammer too. No trade for me there, but always good to look at those. All right, we're 1 hour in. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Two scenarios I'm still considering. If we see this with a suitable signal right through here, I'll definitely be interested. Or if we see something like this with a clean break, a prior day high, and then a retest, those are kind of the two main scenarios I would still consider for a trade later this morning, maybe early afternoon, depending on how the structure continues to build. I also would look at the reaction down here. So, good Friday. Thank you guys for jumping into the stream. We'll keep it going in the think tank. Hope you had a good morning. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you Monday morning. See you Monday morning.